Hey, it's 12 noon on Friday, which means it's time for this week's episode of State of Real Estate. This is our weekly live stream. So if you're just tuning in for your first time today, this is our weekly live stream mastermind where we've got two shows, Ask the Instructor on Wednesdays and State of Real Estate on Fridays. And this show is all about growing your real estate business. So now that you've got a real estate license, how do you go out there and actually make some money? And not just make some money, but how do you make more money? How do you grow your business? And look, don't think of making money as a bad thing. You being able to make money, especially in the real estate space, shows that you're helping people and that you're able to serve more people. The more people you're able to serve, the more money it is that you're going to make. But look, here's the thing. If you don't come across as a true professional, you're going to have a hard time with this. You're going to struggle with this. And how do we come across as a true professional? You got to sound confident. You've got to sound like you know what you're talking about. You've got to sound like a professional. Now, look, you don't need to be a professional speaker, speaking in front of crowds, although if you can do that, you could absolutely speak one-to-one with somebody. But look, being able to just communicate effectively the message that needs to be relayed, especially when you're brand new to real estate, you don't know the things to say. You don't know the things that you need to do. So it really starts out with understanding first and foremost, what are the things that you need to say? What are the things it is that you need to do? And now how do you bring up that information in a professional way that wins people to your way of thinking? And look, it's not so much about being persuasive, although that does have a little bit to do with it. It's being able to communicate things effectively that establishes a deeper relationship with your clients and ultimately helps them achieve the goals it is that they want, whether that's to sell their house, to buy a house. Maybe they're doing both of those things. Maybe they're an investor and they're looking to invest in real estate. You need to be able to communicate how it is that you're able to assist them with this process. So we're going to be building out today, focusing on how to build out your scripts. What type of questions you need to ask to know the things it is that you need to say and the things it needs to communicate, and understanding the process of this, then this, then this, then this, then this happens to move somebody through this sales pipeline, essentially. And the better it is you could get at this, the better it is you are at communicating this information, the more effective you'll be. The easier your job will be, the easier it'll be to scale this out. Because look, if you've ever thought about building a real estate team before, you need to be able to replicate yourself. And if you don't have any systematized approach of what it is that you do, you're unable to replicate yourself through others. So that's what we're talking about today, really getting down to the basics of building out the scripts and then what you need to be doing these. It's not just writing the script one time, but practicing it every single day, warming yourself up before you actually get out there in front of your clients. So I'm really excited to bring today's show to you today. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time. This is our weekly mastermind to help you become more successful. And what we're talking about today is building out your scripts. Now, look, I want to make a disclaimer with this because we've got like 30 minutes today to go through as much as I can deliver to you, as much content and as much information about building out these scripts. But look, if a lot of this is going to be on you knowing your business and knowing what it is that you're doing, and if you're kind of lost in this here, if you just got your real estate license, you need to get in our post-licensing course. Post-licensing is so essential. It gets you on the right track right after you've got your real estate license. It's not required until your first renewal, so most agents will take the 2 years that they've got and just sit back and wait and hope they can figure out how to be successful before taking post-licensing. It's a renewal requirement. You've got to do it, and you can do it as soon as you've got your real estate license. So get enrolled as soon as you can, because if you're having any trouble, like struggling through understanding the process or what are the things that you need to say or how you even get these leads in the first place, post-licensing is an intense course that's got this all crammed into it. It's very much a business building course rather than a exam prep course like you have typically with your pre-licensing course. Pre-licensing is all about studying for your exam to make sure you know the information to be able to pass your exam and, of course, practice real estate legally. But look, just because you know how to practice real estate legally doesn't mean that you'll be a real estate success. That's where post-licensing comes in now. And the curriculum varies by school you take it with. So I'm convinced that we've got the best curriculum, we've got the best instructors, and you will not regret taking post-licensing with us. So if you need to get enrolled in that course, give us a call. Our advisors are standing by. That phone number is 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. But let's get right down to business and talk about how it is, the things it is, the questions you need to ask when you're coming across at building this script. So first and foremost, you've got to have your objective. And look, these scripts, they might be long, they might be short. I would definitely start out with the shorter ones, the easier ones, the easy things it is that you know you need to be able to say nonstop. So maybe you get a call from a potential buyer. You get a call from a buyer lead, and this buyer's, asking you to go show them this house. Now, you could do what most agents do and just go show them the house. But look, if you've watched State of Real Estate before, we've done a few episodes on this where you don't want to go and just take them and see the house, because what happens then is they associate us with the seller. And when they associate us with the seller, they're not going to be open with us. They're not going to be honest with us. They don't want to insult us because they don't want to insult our property because we're the ones showing it. But look, the reality is, it's probably not even our listing, and even if it is our listing, it's not our property. We're there to broker the deal between the buyer and the seller, and that's a big misconception that most buyers don't understand, that you're there to help them. And if they don't like that house, if there's something they don't like about that house, the more it is they're able to communicate that with us, and the better it is we're able to serve them. Because if we just go take them straight to 123 Main Street, they say, hey, can you go show me 123 Main Street? I'm interested in this property. And we just get excited because we've got a lead and we say, yeah, let's go take a look at 123 Main Street. And you get there and you're all excited and they're like, wow, this is a nice house, but it's really not for us. Thank you for your time. And then they go back about their business. They go back on Zillow, back on Realtor.com, back wherever they were searching. And now there's other agents on there that are also going to be advertising to your same client. They're going to be constantly bombarded by advertisements from every angle, from Google, from Facebook, from Zillow, from everywhere, of people, trying to steal your client, so to say. And look, they were never really your client if you just went out there and started showing them houses, because you didn't take the opportunity to establish the relationship. So the objective here for this first little script we'll work out in this example here is to set an appointment. And not just any appointment, but a consultation appointment. So to set a consultation appointment. And the use for this is for buyer leads. Look, with scripts, you don't want to just start writing out things it is that you should say. You've got to understand what your objective is here. What is that end goal that we're trying to achieve? Because if you don't know the end goal that you're trying to achieve, how are you going to know what to say if you don't know what that next step is you need to get them to? And then you've got to have the use for this here, because just because you've got a great script to set a consultation appointment and you're just thinking, well, when do I use this? Do I use this when somebody calls and asks for a consultation? No one's going to come to you and ask you, hey, can you take me in your office and sit me down and tell me what you do? I don't want to look at houses until you tell me how you could help me in the process. Absolutely not. They're looking at houses. They could find this information online. Look, the statistics on this, they're outdated. 100% of buyers look online before they contact an agent. There's no buyer out there in 2019 that'll just call up an agent and say, hey, I haven't looked online at all. And if they tell you that, they're lying, because they look online. Even if they don't remember it, they're checking out Zillow. They might get an ad in their Facebook feed, so they're looking online before they contact us. We are no longer needed for them to be able to find data and information about houses. So when they call us up here, the scenario is they may be calling to see a house. So we need to know when it is that we're using this, for who it is that we're using this. So for buyer leads, they're calling us to see a house. Now, our objective here isn't just to go take them to see that house. Our objective is to first set a consultation appointment. And now look, with this here, as we start to build out the script, especially, and this is where the scripts are most important, when your client wants to go left, but you need them to go right. And ultimately, you need to be sold on the pros. So before we even get into actually building out the script, you've got to go through this exercise of laying out, okay, what do you need to achieve here? We need to set a consultation appointment for buyer leads when they're calling us to see a house. But look, if we're not sold on why they need that consultation, we're not going to be confident in our script, no matter how good our script is, and it's not going to be good because we don't know what the benefits are of this objective we're trying to achieve. So we need to be sold first on the benefits, on the pros of having this consultation appointment. So just briefly, because I do want to cover as much as we can today in this little half-hour time frame that we've got, but just briefly, the benefits here. So first, of course, it's the pro for us. The pro for us is it makes our job easier. Now, as you go through and list out these pros, you've got to figure out, okay, is this something that we need to communicate? And you know what? You want to just go through here and say, no. We don't need to communicate that it makes our job easier. Because if we call them up, and they call us because that's what's going on here. It's a buyer lead. They're calling us to see a house. Maybe we are calling them because maybe they submitted info on our website or somehow we've got something where we need to initiate the call ourselves. But essentially here, if they call us and they say, hey, can you show me 123 Main Street? And we say, well, it would make my job a lot easier if you came into my office for a consultation first. Now, ultimately, we're still trying to achieve that objective, but we're not giving any benefit to them. And ultimately here, we're not really sold on what that benefit is for them. We're just sold on that benefit to us of making our job easier. So now, this is good in the exercise here so you understand the purpose and the reason why you need these scripts here, because you need to know, okay, this is going to make my job easier. It's going to ensure loyalty. I mean, we could go on and on about the benefits here. So that's first, is really understanding your pros. But what's more important here, now don't forget this when you're building out these scripts, because if you don't know the reason why you're using these scripts for your benefit, then you're not going to use them. You're not going to practice them. Whereas if you do know the benefit of these here, you know that it makes your job easier, it sets the expectations, it ensures loyalty with your client. This is everything that a consultation appointment does when you're dealing with a buyer. When you're dealing with a buyer, if you just go take them to show the house, they don't have any loyalty to you. They don't have any relationship established with you. So we've got to be sold first on the benefits and know why we want to use this script every single day that this opportunity, that this scenario arises. But let's talk about the benefits for the client. So what are the benefits of the client? So number one, other properties. So by coming into the office beforehand, say, hey, matter of fact, I actually know a couple other properties that are fairly close to that one there that I think you guys might like as well. I'm not even sure if all of them are actually on the market right now. Let's set an appointment to come to my office so we could check out these other properties. And we'll still take a look at 123 Main Street, but I think you really will like these other ones. If they are still available, I'll have to check. Are you able to stop by my office later this afternoon, or does tomorrow morning work better? So now what we're doing here is we're just using this one benefit. Now, as opposed to that first example that I just gave of, hey, yeah, you want to see 123 Main Street? Yeah, it would make my job a lot easier if you come to a consultation with me in my office. And they're going to say, oh, no, thanks. You know, there's another realtor on here. I'll just go ahead and call him because he'll probably go take me to see that house. Or maybe they'll have a better reason why I should come to a consultation other than making your job easier. You've got to remember here, what's in it for me with them? What's in it for me? And not me as in you, but me as in your client. What's in it for them? Hey, I've got some other properties I think you might like in that area. I've got to double check that they're still on the market and that they're still available. They might have already gotten snatched up. But let's go ahead and set an appointment for you. Come into my office here. We'll go over some things. We'll look at some of these and make sure that we find you guys the best property. Now, what might happen with this here? So you might get some sort of objection. They might say, oh, well, I appreciate that, but we'd rather really just take a look at this property first. Hey, look, I hear you. I completely understand. Now, look, that script right there, those couple words, I hear you, I understand, this should be the automatic go-to anytime you have some sort of objection. Because, look, if you disagree with them, are you getting closer to agreement? Absolutely not. When you disagree with somebody, you're distancing yourself from them. So they say, oh, look, we'd rather see the house first. Oh, no, I can't show you the house first until you come into my office. We're making things further out from a deal. You don't want to say that. You want to first start off with agreement. Hey, I hear you. I completely understand. I'm actually excited to get in this house as well. It's been a while since I've seen it, or I haven't seen that one yet. This one actually looks like a really nice property. But look, you've got to have the other benefits here. You've got to have the other pros laid out. So if all you got is this one thing for other properties, and they say, no, we're not interested in other properties, well, now what? Hey, look, I completely understand. I hear it. Well, we could go back onto the other properties, or the more ammunition we have, the more benefits and pros that we have. Again, we've got to be sold on why this benefits the client. Not just why, it's obvious why it benefits us, but we've got to be sold on how this benefits the client. So what are the other pros here? We could just go right back to the other properties. Hey, I hear you. I completely understand. I would just hate to see you guys make a mistake and end up putting an offer and getting under contract with that property when there's another one out there that you might like a little bit better. Look, it's just going to take a couple of minutes here. My office isn't too far from this property at all. Matter of fact, I'll actually drive. You just head over to my office there and we'll head over there together. So, that way I can get you some more information while we're in the car and you guys don't have to waste any gas. Oh, well, we drive a Tesla, so it's basically free for us to drive around. Oh, wow, cool. Well, I've actually never ridden in a Tesla before. You mind if I guys ride along with you? So, I mean, it sounds silly, but again, we're trying to get back to our objective. That's our goal. And everything it is that we need to say is moving us closer to our objective. Whether that's, so another pro that I just mentioned there is ride together. And obviously you've got to build this one out a little bit more. Because that might come across creepy depending on how you say it. It's like, oh, I've never been in a Tesla before. Can I ride with you? They're like, no, we don't want some random stranger in our car. So that one might not go across as well, especially if it's not delivered well. Because the importance of the script, once you've got this built out, you need to be practicing this every single day. It only takes 12 hours to get rusty and not be able to deliver this at your fullest capacity. So you need to be practicing these lines every single day. Because look, when you go watch a movie, even though they're using scripts, there's movies, I know that you've seen movies before where they're like, oh wow, this is so scripted. Or other movies that you've seen where you're like, wow, what a great performance. And that's essentially what we're doing. Despite us saying these things again and again and again, we need to deliver that great performance. So not only do we need to know our lines, but we need to be able to deliver them in a confident way. Because if I said, oh, a Tesla, I've never ridden in a Tesla before. Do you mind if I ride with you? Notice how I said the same words, but you're like, oh man, sorry creeper guy, I don't want you in my car with me. Whereas if you say, well, wow, a Tesla, wow, that's really awesome. I've actually been thinking about getting one of those. I haven't test drove it yet. Look, I don't want to drive yours, but you mind if I ride with you? And they say, oh yeah, sure, because, they love showing off their car. But again, the way it is that we communicate this information, it's not just the words that we say, it's how we say them. So that's why the foundation of this is building out the words that you're going to say, but then practicing this again and again and again. But look, we've got to have some more compelling things other than just, other properties and let's ride together, because, that doesn't sound anything. Now we just sound like a realtor that can't afford to drive to the property herself of hey, let's ride together. So what are some other benefits? And look, it might sound like we're spending a lot of time on just listing out these basic items here rather than actually getting into building the script. But this is such an essential practice to understand what your client wants to hear and what they need to hear, and how we need to take that both into account and, again, keep getting towards our objective. That is our objective. Now, look, even if you can't overcome these objections, remember that you're just delaying this objective. If by everything you've tried, they still just want to go see 123 Main Street, hey, look, I completely understand. I hear you. Tell you what, let's go over to, I'll go and show you 123 Main Street, but look, you got to promise me this, that afterwards we'll head over to my office. I want to just go over a couple things with you that'll really benefit you in the home sale process. So worst case scenario, you're still getting this appointment, this consultation appointment. You just got to show them the property first, which, if you've got to do that, that's fine. As long as you're getting this appointment, ideally, this is right up front. But if you don't get it right up front, worst case scenario, you still get the appointment and then you just delay this process a little bit more. But look, here's what happens when we delay things. It takes more time. It's going to make our job more difficult. We might do the consultation. What are we doing in the consultation? We're qualifying them. We're finding out if they're pre-approved. If they're not pre-approved, we've got a mortgage lender on call, a mortgage loan officer on call that's able to find out if they can even afford this house. Because look, if this house is $500,000, but their affordability only comes in at like $350,000, should we show them that house? No, we shouldn't. So by us showing them this house without having first that consultation and qualification that we're doing, and look, you've got to do this in person. You've got to do this in person. A lot of agents that'll try to do this, they'll try to do it over the phone. And this is one of the times where you do want to add a little bit of time because you want to add the face-to-face. Because what's going to be able to establish a relationship better? Your voice on a phone or your full body experience in person at your office? They come to your office and they see that, wow, you're a real organization. You're not just some realtor that works out of the trunk of their car. You've got a nice office. You're in there, you're welcoming with open arms with, snacks, refreshments, all kinds of things like that, and you're rolling out the red carpet for them. By doing this, you're able to build a much more professional relationship with them, and they view you as a professional as opposed to viewing you as just some realtor. Because everyone's got that picture in their mind of the realtor, the guy wearing the Hawaiian shirt that they haven't showered in a couple of days. No offense to any of you guys out there if that's you, but look, if that is you, look, make yourself look a little presentable. Look, you don't have to wear a suit or anything like that, but tuck your shirt in, make yourself look like a pro. Even if it is, maybe just a polo shirt or something like that. Wear some pants instead of shorts. Whatever it is that you got to do to look presentable. You don't have to be, high fashion, but you want to look professional. That's so essential here. And look, they're not going to be able to see what you look like if you're just talking to them on the phone. So again, getting back to our objective to set a consultation appointment in person. So look, going back to the pros, we talked about other properties. We talked about riding together. What are some other benefits? Because we've got to have more ammunition in our holster. Because if we just keep harping on these same things, if this didn't sell them the first time we mentioned it, it's probably not going to do the trick just by bringing it up again and again and again and again and again. So we've got to have other things. Hey, look, I completely understand. I hear you as well. But look, one of the things that I want to do, and I do this with all my clients, I have a consultation. So that whole thing that this is normal doesn't really sound like a pro, but that might reassure them that you're not trying to take advantage of them, but this is something that you normally do on a day-to-day basis. It's normal. There's no obligation. And maybe you've got some benefits. Say, hey, myself and my team, we really streamline this process and make it as easy and simple as possible to get you in the perfect home for you as quickly as possible. But we've got to see if this is going to be a good fit for you. I don't want to waste your time. There's no obligation. This is at no cost to you. We have agreements pre-negotiated with sellers throughout the Tampa Bay area or wherever your market is. We've gotten pre-negotiated agreements with sellers throughout the Tampa Bay area to compensate us for serving you. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? And of course, they're going to say yes. Oh, I get to use your services at no cost to me? Yes, absolutely, I'm interested in that. And you might say, well, John, I don't have pre-negotiated agreements with sellers throughout the Tampa Bay area. Yes, you do. It's called the MLS. If you find a property in the MLS, there's a pre-negotiated agreement for you to be compensated. That's really the whole purpose and why the MLS was created. So, getting into these benefits here and rattling these things off. Hey, look, this is normal. This is something I do every day with all of my clients. There's no obligation. It's at no cost to you. And look, if we don't have these benefits laid out, we don't have any detail. We don't have any meat to put into our script. If your script is all bones, just the basic framework of it, it's not going to convince anyone. You've got to put this meat in there, the things that are going to really benefit them. And it doesn't just go for when we're trying to convert buyer leads, but any type of conversation that we need to have. So maybe we're talking to sellers, maybe we're talking to renters and we're trying to convince them into purchasing a home. Say, hey, I know you must really love it here right now, but if I could show you how we could get you into a house you'll love even more for a mortgage payment that's less than your monthly rent, would you be interested? Oh, wow, yeah. Of course they're going to be interested. That's what you want to be able to have. You want to have these questions that you know you're going to get yeses to, because if you get them to say yes, now they're essentially opting in to your plan. Great. Let's set an appointment for you to stop into my office here. We'll go over some of this information and see if you would qualify for having a rent payment that's less than, or a mortgage payment less than your rent payment. Now notice if I jumble my words like that, because I haven't practiced that script this morning. It's been a few months, if not maybe a year, since I've practiced a script like that. But when you're saying this every single morning, you're going to come across, hey, look, would you be interested if I could find you a house that you'll love even more than where you currently are at right now, with a mortgage payment less than your rent payment? Is that something that interests you? No, I like paying more money for something I'm not going to like as much as something I could get for less money. They're not going to say that. They might say, yeah, that is interesting, but I don't have the best credit. So again, we've got to have our benefits here. Hey, I completely hear, I completely understand. Look, to be honest with you, my credit isn't as great as I want it to be either. But look, if I could get you approved for this type of loan that would be cheaper than your overall rent payment, would you consider moving into a house or maybe a condo that you'd like better than this apartment? Oh yeah, that if you get me approved, that's really the only thing holding me back. Great. What time works better for you? Do you want to meet me this afternoon at my office or tomorrow? What day works best for you? And just get right into getting the appointment again. Again, going back to our objective here, that we want the appointment. And look, these scripts, this is just one piece, and this is something essential, because this is what you want to use up front when you're working with leads. Because if you don't have this script down, you're not going to have any business to deal with. But once you've got this script down and you've got business coming in, now you need to work on those scripts that you're going to use as you show these properties. After every property, you should have a follow-up script. As you're walking out of the property, or maybe right as you're about to leave the property. So what do you guys think of this property? On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put it? What are we doing here when we're asking them to put this on a scale of 1 to 10? Well, if they say it's a 10, that means they love the property. That means this is the perfect property for them. That means there's nothing that they don't like about the property. Whereas if they say, oh, it's like a 7, okay. So what would make it a 10? What is this property missing that would make it a 10? So you're finding out what are those key things it is that they also need out of the property. And sometimes, they might say, oh, well, this property doesn't have a pool. Hey, I completely understand. Now, if I could find your property, it might be difficult, but if I could find your property just like this, but with a pool, would you be ready to make an offer on that? I say, oh yeah, if it's just like this and it just had a pool, then absolutely we would make an offer on this. Hey, great. Now let me ask you this here. If we could maybe negotiate the price a little bit so you're able to put your own pool in and design your own pool, and we can maybe get the price negotiated down a little bit so you can afford to do something like that after you moved in, and you get a brand new pool that's designed just as you like it rather than one that might be older and might have some issues with it. Would that sound like something you'd be interested in? Oh wow, yeah, you could do that. You could negotiate the price down to maybe put in a pool. I can't make any guarantees, but we could certainly try. We could see what it is that we could get on some wiggle room. And look, we don't have to accept anything. No matter what it is that I negotiate, I don't have any power to bind you as a client. It's always up to you. It's up to you to put the signature on the paper. So you don't like something, you don't have to sign it. And look, I'm just here to work for you. So does that sound like something to be interesting to you? Say, oh yeah, that sounds good, but let's go ahead and take a look at a couple other properties first. Great, fantastic. Again, you want to maintain that positive attitude throughout this year. And now we start looking at these other properties, but what happened is we planted that seed in their head. And we've got to know the things that make a deal work. That's really what our job is as we get deeper into this business here. What do we have to do to make this deal work? Hey, do you like this property? Yes, I do like it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it? And you want to do this with every property you show, because what happens now you've got comparative data. If they say that property was an 8, whereas this property is a 5, you know that they like that 8 better. So, okay, so you put this one at a 5, so you like that other one that we just looked at better, correct? What do you like better about that property compared to this property? And they say, oh, well, that one had the bigger kitchen. And what we're doing here is we're just trying to extract the answers. We're making them convince themselves, essentially, here. And even though this is a sales profession here, it's more of a counseling profession, because that's what we're doing with our clients throughout this process, is we're counseling them. We're helping them come to the realization of which house is best for them. And now the sale becomes easy. Look, it's not like you're working at a car dealer and they don't want to buy they don't want to buy your Ford, because let's say you work at Ford because they're looking at the Chevy and they like the Chevy better. Look, in real estate, that's not the case. Unless you're working for a developer and you're only working for a developer, then you're kind of tied to selling that developer's homes. But when you're in a brokerage capacity, when you're a sales associate or a broker working under a sales associate working under a broker, now you could go take them to any properties. Hey, what do you want? Let's see if it's available. Let's see if it's out there. Let's see if that exists. Oh, you want to buy a new construction home? Absolutely, I can help you out with that. Let's just set up a quick consultation in my office to see if our home buyer assistance program would be a benefit to you. It's at no obligation and no cost to you. I've got pre-negotiated agreements throughout the Tampa Bay area with the sellers that they'll compensate me for helping you. Does that sound like something that you're interested in? And I say, oh, well, yeah, it does. Or if they say no, I completely understand. I hear you on that. I completely understand. I know this sounds like something that's a lot. Let's just set up an appointment to come to my office. I'll go over the program, and if it's not a good fit for you, I don't expect you to work for me, but I think you're really going to like it. What time works best for you? Again, always getting back to your objective. So when you write out your scripts, when you're laying out the things it is that you need to say, you always need to have that objective in mind, because no matter what they say, no matter what they do, no matter how off track or off topic we may get, what we need to do is get back to our objective. That's the road. That's the direction we need to get to. And then once we've got that consultation appointment, we do our consultation, get their pre-approval and all these other things so they're ready to go and look at properties, and then we start taking them out and looking at properties. Now, maybe they just want to look at one property, but we know that you don't want to ever just show one property, because you show just one property and now they're thinking, oh, that property was good, but we want to look at some more. And if you don't have any appointments scheduled, any follow-up, any other additional properties that you plan on showing, never show just one property. Always show at least 3 properties per trip. Even if you know that they might not be, that the one that they're looking at is going to be better fit for them than these other ones that you're showing. Hey, yeah, there's just a couple other in the area. We'll just take a quick look at here, just so you know what else is in the area, what the neighborhood's like, what your neighbors will be. I mean, I'm sure you want to kind of get an idea of that before you move into this house, correct? Oh, yeah, before we even consider making any offer on it, we want to find out about the neighborhood. Great. Yeah, let's take a look at a couple of other properties in here. I've got appointments lined up already. We'll just take a quick look at them and see how you like about them. And then, again, after we show every property, so this property, how would you rank it 1 to 10? Do you like this one better or not as much as the one that we just looked at? And what you're doing here is you're showing them the alternatives. You're showing the alternatives, which what that does is it helps them realize that maybe that first property that they looked at is the right one for them, because they see the alternatives. Maybe they like the neighborhood, but they don't like this house as much. They're like, yeah, I do really like this neighborhood. I like that house we just looked at. I'm not really a fan of this one. I'm not really a fan of that other one. I really like that first house. Sounds like you've got your mind made up, Mr. Buyer, Mrs. Buyer. So do you want to see that house again? Or do you want to write up an offer on it now? Oh, well, okay. Not, do you want to write an offer? Because what can they say to that? No, we're not ready yet. But instead, if we say, hey, do you want to write an offer, or do you need to see a house? Do you want to write an offer now, or do you need to see the house again? Because if you don't do that, you're setting yourself up for delays and expanding things out. Look, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we're back with more script building after this quick commercial break. Stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
Have you seen what's going on in Tampa?
If you're looking to get in on the real estate action that's going on in Tampa right now, we're who you need to talk to. We can help you get your real estate license, start your real estate career. We're here to assist you for the life of your real estate career. Give us a call. Phone number is 813-928-0106, or check us out online at tampaschool.com.
Do
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrisman. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate, where today we're talking about how to build out your scripts. This is a follow-up to, I think it was last week maybe, we talked about the importance of scripts and why it is that you need to use them, but we got some questions afterwards like, hey, where do I find scripts? And look, yeah, you could go Google some stuff online, but look, you need to be able to make this your own. It needs to be your own words that you would typically use, because if they're words that you don't normally use, they're going to come across jarbled. You're going to sound like you don't know what you're saying. So look, building out your own script, it's going to be a little bit of a time-consuming process, but when you've got your own script, you're more likely to stick to it when you run into some roadblocks. Because look, no matter how good your script is, it's not always going to work. There's going to be objections that you get, and that's why you want to have scripts of how to handle these objections, which at the bare minimum, just practice this one with me right now. Hey, I hear you. I completely understand. I hear you. I completely understand. Absolutely. I agree with you. Because now we don't have any argument. We're moving closer towards agreement when we say those little things like, hey, absolutely, I agree with you. Oh, okay. Well, you agree with me? Well, that's refreshing. People all the time are arguing with each other. So anytime you get some sort of objection, hey, absolutely, I understand. I hear you. Absolutely, I agree with you. Practice that word alone, absolutely, and just try to bring that up in your discussions and just watch how much more positive and uplifting those are. And when you're confident, when you're positive, when you're upbeat, that's when it's easier to get to the objective that you laid out of your script. So look, just to wrap this up, because we're over the time for today, but I don't want to leave you guys hanging on this here. So whenever you're building out your script, here are the essential things you need to lay out. You need to outline. You know, you might remember having to write essays in school. And when you wrote out these essays, your teachers would always say, oh, you got to have an outline. You got to outline what the main points are, what the main topics here. That's the same thing when you're doing script writing. You've got to know your objective. What are you trying to accomplish here? Maybe it's trying to set an appointment for buyer leads because they're calling just to go look at a house, and you want them to come to your office for a consultation rather than just take them directly out seeing properties. If you're able to do that, watch how much easier how much better your relationships are going to be with your clients, and how much easier it is to work with them when you've had a consultation to outlay the expectations and just go over some things and find out if they're even qualified to buy houses or they're just wasting your time. So you want to have this appointment. And you want to have the scripts of what you need to say in that appointment as well. As you get deeper into the process, you want to have those scripts of getting feedback on each house. Because look, if you don't collect feedback, if you just assume they like it, but they don't like it, should you be asking them, do you want to make an offer? No, because now what that does is that distances you. Because if you ask them that question on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you like this property? And they say a 3, great. Are you ready to make an offer? No, I just told you it's a 3 out of 10, which obviously if they say it's a 3 or 4, or really anything less than probably a 7 or 8, you don't want, even if it's not a 10, anything less than a 10, you don't want to jump right into, well, do you want to make an offer? So, because now it shows that you're not connected with them, that you're not listening to them, that you don't understand them, that you're just trying to get a quick sale. Because if they say they don't like the property and you're like, oh, well, this is the best one out there. This is the one that fits your needs. Let's just make an offer on it. Are they going to make an offer? Absolutely not. But you ask that little question there. And that's why you want to have these scripts. You want to rehearse that. Look, you don't have to do scale of 1 to 10. You could do 1 to 5. You could just say, well, what do you think about this property? How do you like it? Oh, you like it? What do you like about it? And they start listing off the things it is that they like about the property, which this is really powerful because, again, they're selling themselves. That's the goal when you're showing properties to buyers, is to get them to sell themselves. But we need to be there to facilitate that happening. We've got to ask those questions. What do you like about this property? What about the property we just looked at? Do you like that one better? Do you like this one better? Oh, I don't know. They're both really nice in different ways. Oh, yeah, I completely understand. They're great. But if you had to pick, if your deadline to buy a house was today and you had to pick one of these two houses, which one would it be? Oh, well, probably this one. Great. And why did you pick this one? Well, this one had the bigger kitchen. And the other one, the kitchen was nice, but it was a little bit smaller. I hear you on that one. Is that something important to you in your new house, is having the big kitchen? Yeah, you know what? Actually, it is. I didn't really think about that, but yeah, that kitchen, that's kind of a deal breaker for that other one. Hey, I completely understand. Did you want to go back and look at that other one again, or are you ready to make an offer on this one? And again, we get back into that alternative close. That option close of, hey, do you want to go see the other property again? Because either way, we're getting more action with a client. We're moving them forward. We're helping them go back and see the other house. Well, let's go see that house one more time just to be sure that we don't want that one. Absolutely. Let's go take a look now. Let's go see if we can still get right back in there. So we go back over there. Well, what do you think? Have you seen enough here? Or do you want to make an offer on that other one? I'm still just not ready. Hey, I completely understand. I hear you on that here. What is it that's holding you back from making an offer on that property? What is it that property is missing? What do you still need in that property? And now, look, it sounds like, again, we're just trying to get them to make an offer, but the difference now is that we're doing it from the benefit and the perspective of them. We're just trying to help them make the decision, that's all. We're just there to facilitate the decision-making process. That's the sales, really, that we do, which you think of sales and you think you're just trying to get somebody to sign up or to buy. Really, you're not. You're just trying to get them to help make a decision, because decisions are what lead to offers and contracts and us essentially getting paid. So really the objective there isn't to get them to make an offer, so to say, when you're showing properties. The objective is to get them to make a decision. Would you consider making an offer on this property? No, you wouldn't? Great. So do you want to make an offer on that other property? No? What's holding you back? So again, we're moving towards that objective of the next step. The next step is we're negotiating offers. We're negotiating the contract. That's the next step we need to get to when we're showing properties, but we've got to keep that in mind, that that's our objective. Because if you don't go into this knowing that's the objective, that's what you got to do next, you're not going to say things that move you closer to that goal. And that's, again, laying out this process, laying out scripts for each step of the way. Look, if you've got no business yet, focus on the script to get business. Focus on the script to get an appointment. Focus on that script when you're on that appointment of the things it is that you need to say. And then as you progress deeper in the sales process, you start adding in these other scripts and start practicing those. You want to be sharpening your skills every single day so you come across, again, as a confident, qualified professional. Look, that's about all the time we've got for today, so thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it if you shared the stream with anybody, share the knowledge out there with realtors. Look, the better we get collectively, the better it is that we look, and the harder it is the easier it's gonna be for us to overcome that idea that, oh, realtors are worthless. They're just there to try to get us to sell property. Because look, there's a lot of agents out there that are not true professionals, that do not practice their craft every single day. And, they just come across as, unknowledgeable, lazy, inefficient, as kind of a necessary evil. That's not how you want to come across. But believe me, there is that perception out there. Not among everyone, but there is that perception out there from clients that have had bad experiences with past realtors, that maybe knew somebody that was a realtor, or whatever the case may be. So you've got to go into this knowing that they might have those bad perceptions, and you've got to over-deliver to be able to overcome that, and so for them to see that you are, again, that true qualified professional. Look, if you're trying to grow your real estate business, if you have not taken post-licensing yet, maybe you already did post-licensing because your renewal was coming up and you had to get it done, you just bang through it as quickly as possible, you could still take our post-licensing course and get through it a second time with us and really go through and try to get as much value out of that course as you can. Look, our post-licensing course, we talk about working with sellers, we talk about working with buyers, we talk about valuing properties, presenting offers, things it is that you need to know the ins and outs of if you want to be successful in real estate. It's completely different from the pre-licensing course. Pre-licensing, the goal there is really to prep you for the exam, to make sure you know everything you need to know for the exam, whereas post-licensing, it is a renewal requirement. It does have to be approved by the Florida Real Estate Commission, but the syllabus varies by school. The curriculum and what it is that they teach varies by school, and that's why we're really proud of our curriculum that we have here as something that's going to help you grow your real estate business. So not only do you get that renewal requirement knocked out, but now you have an opportunity to learn information that's going to help accelerate your business for you to make more money, to work more efficiently, to better serve your clients, and overall build a successful real estate business. So if you're looking to get enrolled in that course, whether you need it or not, you can still take the course with us. That phone number is 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. You can also check out more details on that at postflorida.com. That's post, P-O-S-T, Florida, Florida.com, postflorida.com. But again, give us a call. We'll help you out, 813-333-2676. That's about all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you Wednesday for Ask the Instructor.
Have you seen what's going on in Tampa?
If you're looking to get in on the real estate action that's going on in Tampa right now, we're who you need to talk to. We can help you get your real estate license, start your real estate career. We're here to assist you for the life of your real estate career. Give us a call. Phone number is 813-928-0106, or check us out online at tampaschool.com.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.